Eureka Classics releases the 1929 French silent film Finis Terrae, which I've probably pronounced wrong, and I'll continue to pronounce any names wrong throughout this, so just be prepared for that, which also means the end of the earth, or which translates as the end of the earth. It is a Blu-ray directed by Jean Epstein with Gibois, Jean-Marie Laot, and Malgorn, probably again all disrespectively just mispronounced. It has an original score by Roch Hevet, and it is 4:3 black and white. Looks phenomenal. Looks razor sharp. It has, like most modern restorations of silent films, the motion is natural, so it doesn't look all sped up like we always used to associate with silent films, and it feels documentary-like at times. And I think indeed it may have been filmed with a lot of non-actors and just people who lived in this area. Very interesting film. Reminded me a lot of The Lighthouse in some ways. So what is this film about, you fool, you fool? This is about four men, two younger, two older, who work on this island just off the mainland of where they live or where their community is. And they basically work to harvest and burn seaweed for use in various products and things like that. So they're seaweed harvesters. They're extremely isolated. This is a very rough landscape that they live in. Basically, this little shed shack they have fashioned to be where they sleep while they're in these long stretches of working on this island. And over time, it's a very rough lifestyle. There's injuries, there's disagreements, there's drinking, there's fighting, there's maybe more. And the story goes that two of these guys get into, or a bunch of these guys, disagreements develop. And there are fights, and there is an injury that's basically life-threatening for one of these guys, and it's them trying to continue their work and continue to be around each other while they are not wanting to be around each other more and more. Word eventually gets back to the mainland that these guys need help, or one of them certainly does, and then it's sort of like a race against time and the elements to get to this place and get this guy back, and hopefully he will survive. So it is very much... I haven't seen it, so I'm hesitant to say it's very much a Nanook of the North kind of film, but it's reminiscent of what I know of that, which is it almost feels like a documentary. It's shot in an actual location with a lot of people who actually did this sort of thing, and it feels like a documentary, but it's also a narrative film at the same time. Very interesting visuals, very interesting use of slow motion at times, shots of the sea coming and going, and the just really harsh landscape. Again, as I say, it looks phenomenal for a film of this age, so a very excellent restoration. It's a very simple story, very interesting visuals, and just like a kind of a fascinating look at a very specific time and place that I'm sure is long gone. It's somewhat reminiscent of, I'm sorry, glancing at my notes, very reminiscent of Robert Eggers' The Lighthouse, minus the overt fantastical kind of stuff and true mania. Extras on this include The Call of the Sea, Pamela Hutchin on Finis Terrae, 17 minutes, Strangers in Strange Lands by Eddie Falvey, 20 minutes, and Capturing the Real, Joel Dare on Jean Epstein, 11 minutes. And I will show you what the package looks like. So, pardon the glare, got very nice painted cover there, slipcase, which reveals, a slightly different cover that shows you that it's in black and white, as is the text. Cracker open. The Radiance discs, I'm sorry, not Radiance, the Eureka discs don't always have a really garish covers, and this film doesn't really demand that. And we look and we see a still from the film and our main protagonist here, and a booklet featuring, pretty sure that's the director, some writing on the film. We get Cinema at the End of the World, Jean Epstein's Finis Terrae by Christopher Wall Romana, and Of Certain Characteristics of Photogenie by Jean Epstein, which was originally published in 1926 from the director of the film. And it's a really nice package. It's a really cool film that I had never heard of. So if you are a fan of The Lighthouse, this is certainly something you should see. If you're a fan of silent film and world cinema and ethnographic cinema, I guess you'd call it, this is one to check out from Eureka Classics, Finis Terrae. Or if you're looking to know how to spell that, it is Finis Terrae from 1929.